This is Tanner Jackson, a Mizzou undergrad studying biochemistry who is also a CAFNR ambassador. What was your greatest challenge for entry into the sciences?
I think one of the greatest challenges for me, just from coming from a non-science family, is just being able to understand some science concepts and, getting into the field of science and being able to actually communicate with people who have had families that are also in science. And then, I've always had like a very good knack for science. I've always done very well in it in school, but I've really enjoyed it.
I think you touched on this a little bit, but did you ever feel like you would be unable to succeed in this career due to your identity?
Not at all.
No?
I've always been taught to have good hard working and determination, and always just to be a hard worker in general. So no matter what I was going to set my goals to, I would succeed at any level.
Do you have any suggestions for individuals of minoritized groups who are interested in careers applying science?
Go out and get it. If you have your interest and you are really want to do something, go for it. Don't let anything try to stop you. Don't let anybody try to stop you. If you have a goal, go out and try to get it.
What was your greatest experience with science in your secondary education?
My secondary education?
High school.
Well, yeah, I know. So my teacher, Mrs. Aubuchon, back in high school, we actually did a metal burning lab that produced different colors and just kind of seeing stuff like that, doing different laboratory experiments. Relatively they were really simple, but they still applied some different concepts. One thing that I found we did really cool is we had we created our own hot air balloons, and we were testing some of the gas laws and discussing some of those, and that was really fun.
What was the most fascinating topic or study that sparked your interest in your field?
Ooh, that's a tough one. So I've always been really interested in protein structures and enzymes. I've been looking for a lab that's focusing on enzymes and protein crystallization, stuff like that, where we get to see the actual structure of the protein and see how it binds to the substrate, interacts, and to see just kind of like the different chemical makeup of proteins. That's always been really fascinating for me.
How do you envision your area of study evolving?
So there's enzymes. Everybody has enzymes, and with proteins in general, there's millions to billions to trillions of proteins that we haven't even studied yet. So just that constant study of proteins, and then if we find something like an enzyme or a protein that is that could be beneficial to the human race, I'd like to see, or to even plants or just anything, I'd like to see us advance that research and try to make some good use out of it.
How would you suggest secondary students to explore scientific topics?
For secondary students, it can be pretty hard in high school just because of just kind of different resources than there are up at college. But one thing I would just do is I would just kind of look through your science textbooks, talk to your teachers, and just kind of see what's out there. Especially in the field of biochemistry, there's a lot you can do. There's bacterial work, there's enzymology, there's proteomics, there's lipid biosynthesis. There's just all these types of neat programs and medicinal practices that you can do. And I just kind of read about them, and honestly, don't be afraid just to Google is a great tool. Use Google, use just online stuff, and just learn about stuff and see what really sparks your interest.
So what steps or advice would you give to individuals continuing their education in science and seeking entry into a scientific major?
So, and this kind of just goes for undergrads and for high schoolers. I would just really focus on, just studying, making sure you're keeping your grades up, and not like really focus on the concepts. Don't just regurgitate something. Don't just learn it and regurgitate it. Actually, learn the concepts, learn how it works, and try to apply it to situations. And I think that will really benefit you in the long run.
What are your career aspirations?
Well, so right now I don't have a specific career path picked out. I either want to go to med school and be a physician, or go into research. And it's pretty much just kind of like, wherever the wind takes me at this point, especially at the undergraduate level, because you really don't know until once you get into a specific lab, or once you get a job at a hospital or anything like that. I've done some volunteering at the hospital. I've loved it. I've done some research and I loved it. So I've just been bouncing back and forth, just trying to figure out what's right for me.
Your final question is, how do you think this program has helped you with your career aspirations?
This program has given me a lot of team building skills. I've worked with a lot of great people: Kevin, Caroline, Karina, Joey, Aiden. They're all great, fantastic undergraduates. They're very hardworking, and so just from talking to them and learning about their lives and what they do, I've really picked up on a lot of communication skills, and I've learned some really cool research things I didn't know before coming into the program. And I'm also learning a lot of good teaching aspects. I was a teaching assistant for the Biochem 2112 class at Mizzou, and it was a very good experience. But I've learned, how to kind of design lesson plans with this program. And even though my aspiration is not to become a teacher, I believe that we as scientists have to teach people about our findings and just about science in general. That way the public can be knowledgeable about those topics. So having that educational background, I think, has really benefited me.
All right, thank you, Tanner, for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.